All right, we're back. Another educational video for you guys today because I get a lot of questions about this. I think I say that about every video, but that's why I make these videos because I get a lot of questions about them. Nutrition. A lot of people struggle with nutrition. I have struggled with nutrition in the past, still do, sort of, not as much. But that's why I want to make this video for you guys, okay? And I do want to give a warning, right? I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. Okay. I'm just giving you advice that I've learned over the years, advice from my brother and business partner and coach, Johnny, and advice that is, readily available on the internet. So I want to clarify that I'm not a doctor or anything like that. Nutrition explained. Nutrition is probably the thing that I get asked about the most, right? And what is interesting about that is that honestly, at the end of the day, it's really not that complicated. And I think what makes it so confusing for people is just the sheer amount of conflicting information on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. Everybody's saying different shit, and we're always on our phones and we're always listening to people that we don't really know and that we don't really trust, but we still listen to them anyways for some reason. And, for example, we've got people saying that carbs are bad. We got people saying that fats are bad. We got people saying that you need to eat 6 meals a day. We got people saying that you need to be fasting. Everybody has a different opinion. A lot of them are stupid. Not saying mine's right, but I am educated and I have done my research. So stop overthinking it. All right. Stop overthinking it. Everybody's overthinking everything, or they're just fucking giving up and they're winging it and not seeing any results and then getting frustrated, right? So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down nutrition in a way that actually makes sense and applies to real life, because this is what I've experienced. This is what we do with our clients. This is the information that we've learned in school and just over the years, specifically in school. Johnny, he's the one that, has all the master's degree and whatnot. So anyways, the biggest problem that I see isn't people not knowing anything. It's simply that they don't have a system. Okay. They'll try a diet for a week and then they'll see another video on TikTok and they'll try a new diet and then they'll see another video and they'll fucking try another one the next week. And then they just give up, they fall off, and then they restart again. And there's no consistency, right? Without consistency, nothing is going to work. So instead of chasing different diets, you really just need to find something that works for you and stick to it. And that's what we preach at ATNIP Performance. Systems, systems, systems. I talk in pretty much every single video that I post. I'll probably say something about structure or system, because that's what our programming, that's what everything we preach to our clients is based off of. Nutrition isn't just about how you look, right? It's going to affect everything. It's going to affect your energy levels during the day. It's going to affect your performance in the gym, when you're running, outside of the gym, whatever you're doing. It's going to affect your recovery. It's going to affect how you feel mentally, physically, exhausted, stressed, tired, etc. So, if your nutrition is off, everything is going to start to feel harder. And at the end of the day, that's why it's not something that you're going to be able to ignore if you want real results. I hope you guys like all of the little pictures that I put in here for you. Yes, they are AI generated, because it was either that or spend an hour finding pictures for you guys, or just put my logo on every slide, which I've done in the past, and I feel like it's just repetitive. And honestly, I don't know, gives you guys something to look at. So whatever, enjoy. Calories, right? This is what everybody talks about. Calories. How much should I be eating? Should I be bulking? Should I be cutting? Where should I get my calories from? Blah, 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 blah. All right. Everything comes back to calories. But that's because it's the foundation of food. That's what food is calories, right? Whether people like it or not, if you constantly eat more than your body needs, you're going to get fat. You're going to gain weight. If you constantly eat less, you're going to lose weight. It's that simple. That doesn't mean that calories are the only thing that matters, but like I said, they're the building block, they're the foundation, they're the base layer. So if you eat clean foods, but you're overeating, you're still going to gain weight. If you're eating 5,000 calories a day and you're only burning 3,000 calories a day, what do you think your body's doing with that extra 2,000 calories? It's storing them. How does it store them? Fat. In order to build muscle, your body needs resources. That means you have to eat enough food. All right. Everybody's always talking about macros. This is where it kind of comes into play, right? If you're trying to stay super lean all the time, year round, while you're trying to gain muscle, it's going to slow everything down. All right. You don't need a massive surplus of calories, but you have to be consistently giving your body enough food to actually build, because, obviously training is going to break your body down. You're going to need to recover, and food is going to allow that recovery. It's going to allow your body to rebuild stronger. I don't know why I can't fucking talk right now. Body fat, losing fat. All right. Fat loss is a lot more simple than people make it out to be. Calorie deficit. That's it. If you can't do anything else, just eat in a calorie deficit. Burn more calories than you consume. Easier said than done for most people, right? People are pretty consistent Monday through Thursday. Then the weekend hits and everything resets. They go out and they drink 1,000 calories worth of beer and liquor, and then they eat shitty food, right? That's what happens. I've been there. Or, you can be on the other side of that spectrum. You go too aggressive, you burn out, and then you quit. So, with losing fat, the goal really isn't just to be perfect. It's to be consistent over time. And we have plenty of clients where we've demonstrated this. We give them the structure they need. They stick to it. They lose weight. It's that simple. Okay. Next, protein. Protein is extremely important. Obviously, everybody always talks about protein. They're putting protein in fucking everything nowadays, which is ridiculous. Okay, you don't need protein with everything, right? The best forms of protein are natural. So meats, beans, they got protein. Cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. That's a good source of protein. Eggs. Try to get as much natural protein as you can. All right. Protein is huge. If you're lifting, trying to build muscle, or just even trying to lose fat while maintaining muscle, protein is your priority. It's going to repair muscle. It's going to help you recover. It's going to keep you full, which makes dieting easier. A good target, like I say, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. You can't make 1 gram work, but 1 gram, that's what you should be going for. And oftentimes, the reason why people that talk to me that are doing endurance sports and can't build muscle, or they're stuck in the skinny fat phase, is because they're not eating enough protein. Carbohydrates, carbs. I think these got to be probably the most misunderstood part of nutrition, because everybody seems to think that carbs are the enemy. But at the end of the day, that's what your body uses for fuel, is carbohydrates. All right. Especially if you train a lot. Carbs are your body's main fuel source for performance. If you're lifting hard, if you're running, if you're cycling, any sort of endurance work, carbs are what's going to allow you to actually perform. Okay, when carbs are too low, the workouts are going to suck, you're going to bonk, recovery is going to be worse, your performance drops. Go for a run on an empty stomach and go for a run after eating 50 grams of carbs. You're going to notice a difference, because that's what your body uses for fuel. All right. If you ever are doing, swimming, running, biking, and you feel, like an hour in, you haven't eaten anything and you feel like shit, it's because you don't have any carbs. You need to have carbs. All right. Even when you're lifting anything, carbs. They're not bad for you. Okay. Especially unless you're getting them from bad sources. Like, I eat candy, right? I eat donuts, but I always do it before or during an exercise. So that's how I justify it. But if you're just fucking sitting there on the couch, eating a bunch of ice cream and candy, sorry, I just drank a Diet Coke, so I got the burps, and shit that you shouldn't be drinking or eating, then it's going to be a problem. Misconceptions with carbs. All right. They don't make you fat. Overeating makes you fat. Carbs hold water. So sometimes people are going to think they're gaining fat when they're not, and it's just water weight. All right. Low carb diets can work, but that doesn't mean that carbs are the problem. If your goal includes performance, carbs are extremely useful. You need them. Fats. These are also important, just in a different way, okay? Their main job is to support hormone function, okay? This is going to matter for long-term health as well as performance. They're going to help with recovery. They're just going to help with your overall health and well-being, all right? The mistake that a lot of people make, from my experience, is going too low or going too high and crowding out the carbs and the protein, right? You want to find a good balance, and you're going to feel good. You're going to look better, basically, and that's our whole goal. Meal structure, all right? You don't have to have a perfect meal plan that you stick to every single day, day in and day out, all right? One thing that me and Johnny preach a lot is balance, and we don't give you a, you need to eat this every single day for every single meal type of nutrition plan. If you really think you need it, we can do that, but we do like menu style options. We give you a menu of things that you should eat that are going to fit into your lifestyle and help you accomplish your goals. Okay? All you need are meals that you can repeat. If every meal is different, it's going to be harder to stay consistent. When you simplify the meals, it's going to become easier to hit your protein, control your calories, and stay on track. And that's why you need structure. Okay? And eventually, after a decent amount of time, you're going to just know what to eat. Like for me, I don't follow any sort of meal plan. I don't track any sort of calories or macros or anything. I just know what to eat, and I know what works for me, and that's what I do every single day. And I have cheat meals, right? I'll go to fucking In-N-Out. I'll have shitty food every once in a while. I'll eat dessert, whatever. But I earn it, okay? And I don't do it every single day, and that's the most important part. So on to pre-workout feeling before training. Let me move myself. This thing's always in the way. Before training, your goal is simple, right? You want energy. If you're going into a workout underfueled, like I was mentioning earlier, you're not going to perform well. Protein and carbs before training is really what works the best for most people. Can't talk. This could be a full meal a couple hours before, or if you're training really soon, like within an hour, just something small, some small carbs, banana, peanut butter, honey. I like the Stinger waffles. Those things are really good. What else? Fucking Cliff Bar. Like just something that your body is going to digest quick that isn't going to sit there. Nothing heavy. Not a full meal with bacon and fucking 10 eggs and potatoes and all that other stuff. Save that for later in the day after you're done training, right? So you can refill those glycogen stores. Oh, speaking of, it's almost like I made these slides myself. Post-workout, after training, your body is in a state where it needs recovery, all right? Protein is going to help repair the muscle. Carbs are going to help replenish your glycogen stores and all the energy that you used. You don't need a perfect anabolic window. That was a big thing for a while. I don't hear it so much nowadays. But you should get, carbs and protein in within the first hour after you lift. It's just going to help your body recover. It's going to help you not feel like shit. All right? Consistent refueling is going to help you feel better, basically. All right, endurance fueling. This is for my endurance guys. If you're doing long runs, long rides, swims, triathlon training, marathon trainings, whatever it is, high rocks, I don't know, there's so many different things nowadays. Fueling is extremely important for you guys, right? You're not going to be able to do a 2-hour ride the same as a 45-minute gym session. The longer sessions, you're going to need more carbs, and oftentimes you're going to have to be ingesting them during the session, right? So gels, I eat fucking Sour Patch Kids, carb mix in your water, that sort of stuff, obviously. If you underfuel when you're doing endurance stuff, you're going to bonk and you'll feel it. If you're watching this video, you've probably experienced that before. You probably have some, you've been around for a while. You've been doing this for a while. It sucks, okay? Energy drops, performance drops, recovery suffers, right? You know the feeling. I'm going to hop into bulking and cutting right now. Cool design. I don't know. Bulking and cutting. I get so many questions. Max, should I be bulking right now? Max, should I be cutting? Max, I'm skinny fat. Should I bulk or should I cut? What do I do? Well, I'll give you some advice right now. Okay. Starting off with bulking. When you're bulking, you're not just eating everything. All right. You should really, unless you're doing a dirty bulk, which is fucking stupid. Don't do that. Bulking should be controlled. Okay. If you're trying to gain weight, you want to eat in a small surplus that's going to allow you to build muscles without gaining unnecessary fat. If you do it too aggressively, you're going to look like shit. You're going to gain fat faster than muscle. And like I said, you're just going to look bad. We don't want that. Slow, consistent progress works better long term. All right. Cutting. Cutting should also be controlled. All right. If you drop calories too aggressively, you're going to risk burning the muscle that you just gained. You're going to burn out. You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel like lethargic. You're not going to have any energy. You got to keep the protein high. All right. Protein high, continue training, and preserve that muscle. That's your goal. All right. Burn the fat, preserve the muscle, not just lose weight. You know, the fat. That's what we're trying to get rid of. So that's where metabolism starts to play a big role in all of this. So a lot of people think their metabolism is broken. I promise you that you do not have a broken metabolism. Your body just adapts. Your body is dynamic, right? It's going to adapt to your habits. If you've been eating less for a long time, your body's going to adapt. If you've been eating more for a long time, your body is going to adapt. That's why long-term consistency is going to matter more than the short-term changes. When you eat less, you're not eating a whole lot. Your metabolism Your metabolism is going to be slow. It's going to need to compensate. It's called adaptive thermogenesis, right? And when you eat more, your metabolism, obviously, it speeds up because it's got to burn all the shit you're eating. The NEAT and thermic effect increase. The NEAT effect is the non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I had to write that down because I kept forgetting. But that's basically like doing daily tasks, right? Doing your chores around the house, doing your dishes, fucking going on a walk, just random shit, random tasks that you're doing around the house that isn't a scheduled workout, basically. Why do people struggle with nutrition if Max makes it seem so simple? Well, even I struggle with nutrition, all right? Everybody struggles. Nobody's perfect, okay? But like I preach all the time, right? People struggle because they don't stick to a structure. A system. People struggle because they don't stick to anything. They don't have a system. They go from one approach to another. They don't track anything. They don't give anything enough time to work. And then they think nothing works, right? That's the biggest problem. All you guys want results fucking like that, right? If you're fat, it's going to take time to burn that fat off. If you're skinny, it's going to take time to build that muscle on, all right? I've been going to the gym since I was fucking 17. I was skinny as fuck back then. It took a lot of time to get where I'm at now, all right? I think that can help speed up the process a little bit is supplements, all right? Supplements are extremely helpful. There's no magic sauce out there unless you want to take steroids, which I don't condone, all right? But supplements are helpful. They're not everything, but they are going to help you, all right? If your nutrition is off, your supplements are not going to fix it. They're going to support a solid foundation, all right? They're not going to replace anything. So I'm going to go in a little bit and tell you guys what I take for supplements because I get a lot of questions about this. So I keep it pretty simple, right? Creatine, vitamin D, magnesium glycinate. I take it every night before bed. It's supposed to help support sleep. I think it does. Whatever, I just take it anyways. Fish oil, zinc, vitamin C, and NAC. And I also take L-theanine and ashwagandha before sleep. Forgot to put those in here. But the main ones I threw in are going to support performance, recovery, and just overall health. And I think that a lot of people should try them out, right? You can read on here why I take them. But yeah, that's what I take pretty much every day. I'm not consistent, right? At night, I take the night ones consistently. Sometimes I miss the day ones, whatever, but they're going to help. Big one, creatine. All right. If you're going to take one supplement, it should be this one. Creatine is one of the best supplements that you can take. All right. It helps with strength. It helps with power. It helps with performance. It helps with recovery. It helps your brain. It helps everything. All right. It's simple, it's effective, and it's well researched. Right. It's been researched for over 30 years. 5 grams a day. That's what you take. Creatine monohydrate. The only time you shouldn't take it is if you have kidney issues. So talk to your doctor first, obviously, and make sure you're drinking plenty of water when you're taking creatine, which you should already be doing anyways. Micronutrients. Everybody always talks about the macronutrients. I think these are the forgotten heroes are your micronutrients. All right, often overlooked, but they play a huge role in recovery, energy, just overall health. If you're eating mostly processed foods, you're probably missing a lot of these. Honestly, these are just your main vitamins. This is why I take supplements. Most active adults are under consuming these, right? Eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. You should enjoy them. And if you don't, stop eating like a fucking toddler, grow up. They're good for you. Okay. Big picture, a little bit of review here. At the end of the day, you don't need anything extreme. You just need enough calories, you need enough protein, you need proper fueling, and you need consistency. This is how you're going to get your results. All right. So, what is going to work? What actually works is simple. Structure, surprise, surprise. Meals that you don't really have to think about, feeling around your training, and just sticking to it for long enough to get results. All right. So, at the end of the day, nutrition isn't that complicated. You just got to be consistent. You got to focus on the basics, stick to them, and you'll get your results. That is pretty good overview of nutrition for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Like, subscribe my videos. I try to give you guys a lot of value as much as I can, right? If you're interested in learning more, working with Johnny and I, there's going to be a Calendly link in the description. You can DM me on Instagram. Always happy to help. Okay. And if there's anything you want to see, any videos, any topics that you want me to talk about, drop them in the comments. Always looking for more ideas. So we'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, nutrition, not that hard. Okay. Don't overcomplicate.